Hi, my name is Tamara Pauley. I'm the president of the Board of Directors for Watch Resources. Welcome to our first ever virtual Watch Legacy Luncheon. For the past 5 years or so, we've hosted luncheons downtown Sonora where we've invited members of our community to come and learn about our Watch programs and our mission. This year, because of COVID, we're unable to do that, so we are creating this virtual presentation, and we invite you to find yourself a snack or grab a meal and sit and eat with us as we tell you about Watch. As I said, my name is Tamara Pauley. I've been on the board, I've been involved with Watch for about 20 years. I was first on the board back in 2001 for a period of 6 years. During the time that I was on the board, I found out that my firstborn son was going to be born with Down syndrome, which obviously was a rather traumatic diagnosis to receive, and I've always felt it was a bit of a God thing that I was on the board when I got that diagnosis, because Chris Daly and other members of the board were very helpful to me and supportive of me in dealing with that diagnosis and in learning how to raise a child with disabilities. So Watch has some very significant personal meaning to me as a mother, and it's also very important to me because I anticipate that it's going to play a really significant role in my son's life when he becomes an adult. To start our program, I'd like to introduce you to Chris Daly, who is the Executive Director for Watch Resources.
It's a Friday about 10:30 in the morning, and it's silent here. Our lives changed on March the 20th when the governor issued the stay-at-home order. Our care home residents at the Gold Strike home are home for the day, as they've been each day since that stay-at-home order. People are home with their families. We've been able to do a few things during this time to keep people connected. We're having some Zoom classes. The Zoom classes feature things like artwork and armchair travelers and an exercise program on a daily basis. They also just meet for lunch to chit-chat with their friends over Zoom. We've also done some visits to people's homes with gifts. The staff members takes the gift bag and drops it on the porch and then backs up, and they have a chat with that 6 feet distance between them to make them socially appropriate. We were really lucky that recently, in the last 3 weeks or so, we've been able to put some of our work crews back out on their jobs. The landscaping work crew has been working because it's approaching fire season, and it was going to be really important for the weeds to get trimmed at everybody's houses and businesses around town. 2 weeks ago, our Good Stuff thrift store was able to open, and the crew was able to go back to work there. And the community was really excited to hear that we were able to take donations again. And we're hoping next week that the crews that do litter pickup will be able to work. We're not able to open the day program yet. We're really lucky that the Department of Developmental Services has provided us, through the laws that exist, funding during a disaster time. During the disasters, we've been able to fund for the absences we've had. So that money has kept it so that we've been able to pay our staff and pay our program participants for the jobs that they've missed during the time that we've been closed. The Department of Developmental Services has told us that at the end of July they're going to stop that funding, and we'll have to be re-engineering, in their words, what our day program looks like and getting people re-involved in a different way. We're not exactly sure how it's going to work. We know that some of our program participants won't be able to make it back because their health is just too fragile and they will need to stay in their homes. We're hoping to be able to do some on-site work for them, continue the Zoom classes for them, and hoping to get some portion of the people back here in the building. The building's not big enough for everybody to be here at the same time, so it's probably going to be a kind of a schedule where some people come on some days and some on other days. We're working on all of that now. Clearly, in the future, what we do here at Watch as the day program is going to be very different than it was before, and it's not going to be as big as it was before, nor will it provide as much income to us from the state as it did before. So your help in this time is really critical for us. Over our 48 years, we've done what I prefer to call reimagined ourselves in a new and creative way many, many times. The program doesn't look today what it looked like when we were started 48 years ago, and it's not going to look next March what it looked like this March, but it's still going to be here and still going to be supporting people with intellectual disabilities to live their lives and participate in our community and have friends and all the things that we think are the most critical and important in our mission. We're going to rely on your help more than ever in the future, making all those kinds of changes, the extra costs involved with being safe, having masks and sanitizer and new technical equipment is all really impacting our budget, and we're going to really rely on your help a lot in the future. We do have a couple of exciting new announcements to make. Our Art Guild has a website now, and you can go online and view the artwork and make purchases. Each one of the artists will receive 60% of the purchase cost, and the materials and things that are paid for by Watcher cover the other 40%. So you'll really enjoy those pieces of artwork. It's fine art, drawings and paintings, but also some crafts, jewelry making and knitting and crocheting, and those are all done by individual artists. The other exciting news is that Kimberly and Sean Dar, who have owned the Swirls yogurt and smoothie shop at the Junction, have donated that business to Watch, and Watch is going to be able to operate that as a place where people can get training in how to do work in the community and interact with the community, learn customer service skills so that they can get other jobs and move on to bigger and better things, and we can have a fun community presence at the yogurt shop. So we'll hope you'll join us there. We hope to be opening in mid-July of 2020. It's customary at our Legacy Luncheons for you to get a chance to meet some of our program participants and their family members. We're able to put a short film together so that you can meet Joe and his sister Melissa.
Do you like me as a sister,
Yeah.
Joe? Am I the best sister?
Yeah.
Joe was born when I was 7, and I loved babies. He was my baby. I was always carrying him around and feeding him a bottle and extremely protective of Joe. All of us were. He's the youngest of 5 of us. At about 2 years old, it was obvious he wasn't talking, and my father took him to get tested for hearing problems, and eventually he was classified as aproxic with autistic tendencies. Do you want me to get your water for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Our father raised us, so he cared for Joe since the time he was 3 years old, and my mother left the family. And when it came to Joseph, my dad was extremely protective of him. He was so worried about someone taking advantage of Joe or abusing Joe in some way that he was too afraid to let anybody else help him with Joe. And I actually think that that's why my father died early, was because the stress of not having any help with a special needs person. He never got a break for 33 years. Joe, do you like living here?
Yeah.
Do you remember when you came to live here?
Yeah.
Do you know why you came to live
Yeah. Oh, Dad.
Dad, that's right, because Dad passed away, huh? Before my father passed away, he was very ill, and we had been caring for Joe here at the house. And I started contacting people. How do I get Joe in Watch? Very quietly, so my father wouldn't know, but I knew the moment that I walked in there and met with Paula for our screening interview and I went in to check it out, I knew it was like Disneyland. The happiest place on earth, you know, like everybody was smiling and it just had such a great vibe. I absolutely knew he was going there. The first day he was nervous because you have to remember Joe was not socialized for many adult years. My father just kind of kept him isolated because he was trying to protect him. So Joseph had very little social skills, but Joseph is a very social person. So as soon as he went into Watch, he was a little nervous and reserved, but I think by day 2, Paula had texted me and said, he's loving it, he's having fun, he's mingling, and very quickly it became his favorite thing to do. First thing in the morning, Watch, now, bus, go. Good morning, Joe. What are you doing? Within 2 weeks of the Watch program, it was like he blossomed. This whole new person came out, like he was just thriving. I kept using that word. He was thriving being part of the Watch program. Whereas before he had kind of been a dark shell of a person, just sad and depressed. All of a sudden, it was like his whole world had gone from black and white to color. He just was like, ah. And I mean, the changes in our household was huge too, because Joe would come home from Watch and just happy, and he was really fun to be around. You could just tell that it was kind of the missing thing in his life. The Watch program has made it so that Joe has something to do Monday through Friday. It's like going to school or having a job. He can go, he loves it, he interacts with his friends, he does projects, he goes places with the Watch program, and it gives us the freedom to work a day job, send our other children to school, and be able to still live our lives the way we did before and have the best of both worlds. Watch has been the best blessing in our life and Joe's life. Watch is heaven sent for us. Are you missing the watch program? Yeah, we're gonna get back to it soon, okay? Okay.
We hear stories like Melissa and Joe's story every day. That's what Watch does, that's what we're about, that's our mission. We make the lives of our participants better, their families better, and our community, because through the participants, we have an impact on the entire community. They're able to have jobs, they're able to be independent, live independently, be out in the community, and all of us have a better life because of our proximity to them and their availability in our community. The success of our programs and our ability to provide those services is attributable to our instructors. We have great, dedicated instructors, and because we're a nonprofit program, we do have trouble paying them competitive wages, and we've had trouble in the past filling positions because of our inability to offer competitive wages. For this reason, several years ago we started the Legacy Society, and that is a means for people to provide ongoing continuing support, which will allow us to plan based on that support and make promises about wages and different programs and be able to fulfill those because we know what our income is going to be. So I would like to invite you to become one of our Legacy members. We have several different levels of membership, starting with the self-sufficiency level. The first giving level in the Legacy Society is a pledge of $1,000 each year for 3 years. We call this the self-sufficiency level because it's the approximate cost of giving one instructor a competitive wage for 2.5 months. So if you would consider a gift at this level, which is an average of just $83 per month or $2.67 a day, your gift would help us change clients' lives to become self-sufficient. The next giving level in the Legacy Society is a $5,000 gift a year for 3 years. This is our integration level. If you would consider a gift of $5,000 each year for 3 years, you would allow us to impact even more clients. This is the approximate cost of giving an instructor a raise to a competitive wage for 1 year. By giving this amount, you will help us successfully integrate more lives into our community. We know that many of you are in a company or a foundation or just in a position to be able to give more. So our next level is called the independence level. It allows you to have a far more reaching impact on our clients wanting to live an independent life, unencumbered by their physical and mental challenges. If you would consider a gift of $10,000 a year for 3 years, that would give a major boost in attracting the very best teachers to inspire and instruct our clients to live an independent life. We know that not everyone is in a position to commit at the levels that I've talked about today, but any ongoing gift of any amount is meaningful and will have an impact on our clients' lives for the better. If you're willing to donate, please visit our website or call Watch directly. We appreciate you spending time with us today and learning about our programs, and we ask that you please share this video with your friends. Thank you for being with us today.